I might. I'm just my partner. Bro. I'm gonna say something first, and then we'll sit down where we can sit off on, you know.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Done.
I'm trying to hit some left. You know when I broke you can't say that. That's what
What's gonna happen? Oh.
They made me wear two masks. I've ever worn two at once.
Attention everyone, we're going to be starting our funeral service at this time. If everyone could please take a seat and make sure their cell phones are off or on silent.
When you're getting
On behalf of the Fernandez family and significant others, we'd like to thank everybody that came out today, pay their respects for my dad. Realized today that he touched a lot of hearts. He touched a lot of people, and that was his thing, you know. It's tough to be up here right now, you know, very tough, but I love my dad with all my heart. Remembering the last moments that I spent with him, you know, the hospital was one of the hardest for me, as it was for my other brothers, especially my mom. But tonight that we say goodbye. Tonight is the night that we know he's in heaven. And we know that after all is said and done, he's still here in our hearts and will always be in our hearts. And we will keep doing what we do as family, regardless of the outcome or anything that may cross our path. As a family, we stick together. As a family, we are a family. Friends, or whomever he touched, And he's gone but not forgotten. So again, thank you all for being here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. It means a lot to us. I just have a few words to say about my father. My father, Florentino Fernandez. My father was a good man, a good provider, protector, listener, and most of all, a good concierge. He was brave, funny, handy, hardworking, and helpful to everyone. My father, at the age of 28, bravely decided to bring his entire family to America. Having made the journey many times on his own, he knew that the opportunity for a better life was here for those who worked hard regardless of education. So with the clothes on our backs and all we could carry, he took the leap of faith. I'd like to take a moment to mention and thank my Uncle Lico, my Tio Lico, my dad's older brother, who was already living here in Round Lake with a home and a large family of his own. He took us all in. Yes, all 7 of us at the time. If that's not love, I don't know what is. Muchas gracias, Tio Lico y mi tía Budelia, por ayudarnos. My dad learned English very quickly, mainly because he didn't have much choice. Everyone here didn't speak Spanish like today, but he would watch the news on TV and read the newspaper every day. I never saw my father take a day off as long as he was able. When he wasn't working third shift at the factory, only because it paid better, he was working at home. He always figured out how to make extra money, from making picnic tables to sell, to building bars and painting cars in our garage. But it wasn't all work and no play. As the pictures over the decades show, he managed to sneak in many good times, and that's how he would want to be remembered. So until we meet again, Dad, save me a good seat. I will buy the next round. We love you, and we know you love us more. Thank you.
I want to start off first with some words that Richard wrote to my dearest dad. Words cannot describe how much I love you, and I'm going to miss you. I will always cherish the times that we spent together. Our many travel getaways. We will always be together from Burbank, Hollywood, Los Angeles, Long Beach, Las Vegas, Caesar's Palace, Monterrey, Nuevo León, Mexico, Minneapolis, McAllen, Waterloo, Dyersville, Iowa. For you baseball fans, you know what's there, the Field of Dreams. Wisconsin Dells, Milwaukee, Detroit, Paramus, New Jersey, Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, Long Island, New York City, Raleigh, Jacksonville, North Carolina, Julio's U.S. Marine visits. Last but not least, the greatest city in the sports, Chicago, Illinois. For your birthday weekend, I will be spreading a tiny bit of your ashes in the Ozark Mountains of Missouri. I was hoping you would be home with us for that trip. And to all my future excursions, we will always be together until we meet again. Love always, Richard. My dad was a traveler. And as my brother Julio mentioned, he did take the biggest leap of faith in 1974. I was the last of his 7 children, the 5 up until then that was born in Mexico. When we came here, we welcomed 2 more. My dad ended up having 5 sons and 2 daughters. I would say that he's always told us that we were always his biggest adventure. Wherever he went, his family always came first. There's just too many things for me to say about my dad. The biggest though is that my dad had always given everything up until the very end for his family, for his wife, my mom, of almost 55 years. I haven't known anything other than my dad, who to me was always, he was always my Superman. He was always my hero and my angel. Quiero agradecerles a todos que vinieron para estar con nosotros. I want to thank everybody who came to be with us and spending their last moments with my dad, to see him off the way he wanted to. He did touch so very many hearts and so very many lives. And if there wasn't limitations on COVID, I know there would be so many more people here because my dad loved people in general. With that said, thank you very much. Dad, this isn't goodbye. This is until we meet again. I love you.
Thanks for coming out to be here with us to celebrate my grandpa's life. I'll speak for all the grandkids and say that my grandpa loved us very much. He enjoyed all the moments. I guess babysitting wasn't a job for him. It was, it was a gift. Something he got to share with us. He came to a lot of our games, sporting events for all the kids. One of the best memories I have is pitching to my dad in a game, and my grandparents were there to watch us. Not many people get to do that in professional sports or in, league play like we did. He watched me and my other uncle play in a professional stadium for a league game. Most of my memories are around baseball and fishing with my grandpa. I remember we were in Mexico and we were at his house. I don't even know where it was, but playing soccer right there by the house, and I kicked the ball, boom, there goes the glass window, and my grandpa comes out, "What happened?" And like any other kid would, "I have no idea." And yeah, he knew it was me, and he wasn't upset. He knew it was going to cost him something, but he shook it off. Another time he had bought this economic fuel saving car. It was like an old Chrysler with 2 doors, and my grandparents would pack the heck out of that car with everything they could. They would take clothes here for the needy and then sell it to them for a lot less. And I was climbing on the car, and he was putting some bolts in and taking stuff off because they were just about to get going to Mexico. And I was climbing on the car, and I stood on it. I was a little fat kid. I took out one of the fenders on that car, and he looked at me like, "Dude, I gotta drive this 2,000 miles there and back. What's going on?" He never got mad at me for that either. I remember another time I was maybe like 4, and I was running around with those little strawberry candies that all the old people have. They don't taste that great, but it's better than nothing. And I was running around with it, and it got stuck in my throat, and I remember I panicked, and my grandma, as you can see, she screamed and freaked out, and my grandpa came and did a Heimlich, and he punched me in the back, and that thing came screaming out, and I was all right, but just a lot of memories where he was always there. our family's always together, so we would go to watch the Bears games or whatever at one of our uncle's house or at the Sharkies there down the road. And I don't know if he understood the entire game. He just knew that if you made it into the end zone, you scored a touchdown in that. And I guess his favorite part was watching us jump around and cheer when the Bears won or if we scored a touchdown. It wasn't him being there with us. It was him enjoying the memories that we were making at that time. My grandpa was all about making memories. He was all about his family. And I just hope that one day I can also be there for my family and try to keep together all my uncles and my cousins in that, because that's what he would have wanted. I take out of this that life is not eternal. At some point, it's going to come back and hit you, and you got to be able to get through it and shake it off, because you've got to know that for the rest of your life, you're living for the person you loved. You're working your life for the person you loved, even though you're doing it for your kids and your family and your wife and that. He touched our hearts, so we should never forget him and always hold him there. I just hope that he always knows that I loved him with all my heart. I hope he was proud of me. And I asked him the other day, because everybody wants more kids. I asked him, if I'm going to lose such a great person, can you send me another great kid? So hopefully soon, our wish is granted. We can add another person to the family. And we're not taking one off because we didn't lose him. He's right there with us all the time. So thank you very much for being here with us. I appreciate everything. I appreciate all the support. I know he would appreciate it as well. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hello? Hello, hello? Can you hear me? Hello? I never planned on really coming up here and saying anything, but after hearing everyone's words, I knew I had to say something myself. From the bottom of my heart, from our hearts, Grandpa, we love you. And it's not the end. Even though you're gone, you're still here with us in spirit. And everything you've done, you've cared for us. No matter how troublesome we were, your kids, Grandpa, all the grandkids, me, we will always remember. It's not over for the Fernandez family. Just because someone is gone doesn't mean it's over for us. When the next person goes, we're going to keep walking forward, because that's what we Fernandezes do. We keep moving forward through our tough times, no matter what happens. And it's only today when I realize that life truly is short. One of my best memories I've had was back in baseball, whenever I would cross the home plate, turning to the dugout and seeing my father smiling at me, and turning to the bleachers where Grandpa would also be there smiling. I feel we've all had our memories, and we can continue to make these with the rest of the family.
Hey guys, thanks for coming. I didn't prepare a speech. There's just not enough time for me to express everything that I have to say about my father. So I wrote it down in my hand. I have a few points that I wrote down. And it's all based from one concept, and that is love. love. You know, ever since, you know, the day I can remember, you know, the very first thing that my father put in my hand, he didn't force it in my hand. You know, he was like, hey, how would you like to play baseball? He put a glove in my hand and a baseball, and I loved it. From the very first moment he put that glove and that ball in my hand, it was just pure love. Same thing went for fishing. You know, I didn't know what I was gonna, you know, we didn't know what we were gonna catch. We didn't know what we weren't gonna eat that night. We didn't catch anything. You know, so from the very moment that he put a fishing pole, well, at the time it was a fishing line, a stick, a sinker, and you know, a hook with a worm. So, but ever since that very first day, I was hooked. I loved it. I'll never give it up. Now, there was a time that, you know, he did say, you have to, you know, be good at something. You know, and you're never gonna work for it if you're doing what you love. You know, you put a paintbrush in my hand. 30, 40, 50 years ago, whenever it was, and I remember we did a texture, and it was like, people put sand and paint and made it look good, and you know, everything that they had taught me was, you know, do it at your best. You know, and if you love what you're doing, you won't work another day in your life. And just touch on another couple more points that, you know, he said that if you love one another, it's going to come, you know, full circle. So, you know, just love one another. I love everybody that's here in this room. You know, I may not know you, but from the deepest of my heart, I thank every one of you for coming out and celebrating the life of my father. Best way that we know how. All right, let's carry on and enjoy the rest of, you know, everyone together. All right, love you guys. All right.
Yeah, I didn't have anything planned either to say, but I'd just like to thank everybody who's here. Thank you for coming out, and we really appreciate it. My dad always thought of everybody as his own kids, which made, you know, everybody here his family. And thank you for being strong for him and enjoying this, you know, his final time here together with us. So, on behalf of me and my family, you know, they said it all for me. Thank you. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it.
Until you say it for me. Nobody, until you say it for me.
Any other family members that want to come and say anything? No? Okay.
Invitamos también, si gustan, alguien más venir a decir algo. Okay. De parte de mi mamá, que mi mamá ahorita no puede hablar, me gustaría decirle gracias a todos por venir a compartir con nosotros nuestras últimas horas con mi papá. Mi papá se fue, pero no está. Está en nuestros corazones, nunca va a dejar de estar con nosotros en espíritu y en nuestros pensamientos, y en cualquier tiempo que nos juntemos vamos a seguir adelante y tener a mi papá con nosotros, porque eso es lo que él quería. So, de parte de la familia Fernández, de mi mamá, de mis hermanos, de mi hermana, de los nietos, los bisnietos y los esposos de mis hermanos, les agradecemos mucho por venir, estar con nosotros en este tiempo. La última despedida para mi papá. Y si nos pueden decir o juntarse, acompañarnos en decir un rezo para mi papá. Vamos a terminar con el Padre Nuestro. Can everyone stand up for final prayer for my father? We only know it in English. That's fine, we'll say it in English.
Sorry. I was born here.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Thank you all.